Welcome to support videos for workload automation video series. In this video, I'll show you how to implement the Control M for ZOS Job Step Completion Status Facility. This is also referred to as JSCSF. This demonstration will show you how to configure the Control M for ZOS JSCSF facility, followed by an example of its use. The first thing to note is that JSCSF facility is only available in version 9.0.03 and above. You'll find documentation on this facility in the administration guide. So first, what is JSCSF? JSCSF allows users to define common rules for analysing jobs that determine whether the job has ended OK or not OK. Normally this is performed through on-program step coding in the job scheduling definition itself. The rules are defined in member PGM step member in the Control M Palm library. Jobs can be selected by mem name, job name, step name, proc step, and program name. And the use of wildcards is also permitted, which I will show later on. The JSCSF rules are logically added to the do OK, do not OK actions of the on-program step statements specified in the Control M job scheduling definitions. These rules may well override more specific rules in the on-program step statements that might be coded in the jobs themselves, depending on the definition set in the PGM step member. The first thing we'll do, we will look at the PGM step member in the Control M Palm library. As you can see, there's a documentation at the beginning of the member documenting the parameters that can be used. A /* in column 1 denotes that the line is a comment card. Note that point 10 says you need to issue a new Palm modify command to the Control M monitor to pick up any changes made to this member. At the end of the member, there are some samples shown for various combinations, including how to code continuation lines. So now let's look at the two examples which I added to this member. In the first line, I've coded a generic job name, mem name combination, a generic step name, and program name. In the overdef field, I've coded a Y, which means that the coding here will override anything that may be coded in the job definition itself. And in the last field, I've coded a return code of 0008, which should be treated as an OK condition. So now let's order a job that shows the example use of this line. Notice that in this job, there are no on-program step statements coded at all, so this will rely on the default maximum return code for any job as being OK or not OK, which is default of 4. So if the job ends with a return code higher than 4, it will end as not OK. If we look at the JCL, I'm just running a simple igcam statement and setting the max return code to 8. So under normal circumstances, if this job was ordered, the job would end not OK because of the return code 8. So now let's order the job and see the results. So firstly, we can see that the job has ended with a return code 8, but also we notice that the job has actually ended OK in this state. Again, if we view the job, we can see there are no on-program statements in there, and the statements that are coded in the PGM step do not appear in the scheduling definition. So now let's look at the second example. In the second line, I've coded a generic job name combination as before, but using a single question mark instead of the asterisk as before. I'm asking it to look for a program name of IFBR15, and if we see an append code of S8 anything, to set the job as OK, and also to override anything that's in the job definition itself. So now if we look at the job definition itself, again we can see we've got no on-program step statements anywhere in here, so the job will just run under the default post-processing options. Again, we'll force the job and see the results. By viewing the job first, we can see that the job's ended with an SAC06. But again, we can also see that the job has ended OK rather than not OK, which is what we'd normally expect to see. That concludes this video. That concludes this Control M Solutions video. Please see our knowledge database and YouTube video channels for more videos like this.